Oscar Capel here. Little background first. I was born. Yes, I was. Can't get this thing to work now. Hold on. Come on. Make that. There we go. I was born in Argentina way back in the late 50s. And actually, after watching Lord of the Rings, I found out my great-grandmother was actually Hobbit size. So that was really cool. I'm going to fast forward a few years. Moved to New York. My father was a dental technician. I thought that was a cool thing to do. I got to play with teeth when I was a little kid. So I figured, why not do that as a career? So I did that. Ended up working for 5 years in Costa Rica. I managed a lab down there that had 97 people. It put Costa Rica on your bucket list, because what happens in Costa Rica stays in Costa Rica. We can get into those conversations later on a one-to-one. So great thing about working, it's, you got a nice steady paycheck, but like 40 million people found out last year, job security is an oxymoron. Place I worked for went bankrupt. So I had to do like everybody else that found out last year, pivot quickly. So what can I do? I didn't have many other skills other than being a great dental technician. This Legal Shield thing popped up. I've been a member for Legal Shield for years, and I know how much money it saved me. And I'm like, this might be something that I should look into, because I know the value of it. So why Legal Shield? Equal justice under law is what is preached, on the front of the Supreme Court building, but we know that you get about as much justice as you can afford, and that is the problem. So legal access to legal services has been priced out of most people. So what Legal Shield has done is they took an idea from Steve Jobs and said, we need to get this in everybody's hands. How do we do this? We can do door to door, we can do every door direct advertising, but we need to get this in people's hands. And through what Steve Jobs did, making apps available to people, changed, basically it's a disrupting. It changed the way we do things. Amazon changed the way we buy things. Spotify, imagine having all the albums you have in your Spotify in your car, or even on an 8-track. You need a semi. So Legal Shield did the same thing. They said, let's put a law firm in the palm of your hand. So what we say is, if you have access to your phone, you have access to your firm. It's not just a 1-800 lawyer. It's a law firm. Anyone in New York, it's going to know it's going to be Feldman Kramer in Monaco, a huge law firm out in Long Island. And that's the one we work with. What Legal Shield has done is contract one law firm per state to handle everything, because things are state specific, like wills and trusts and things like that. They're state specific. So I'm going to do a little bit of Legal Shield first, and then we'll get into ID Shield. Why have a good lawyer? This is Archie Williams. Archie Williams did not have a good lawyer. He had a public defender. He spent 36 years of his life in prison for a crime he didn't do. The importance of having real legal representation, real legal counsel, I can't stress enough. So this is a worst case scenario, but we need legal services all the time. Take, for instance, you get a traffic ticket. What do? You get a traffic ticket out of state. Are you going to fly back to that state and fight the ticket? You're going to pay for the ticket. We're able to have you snap a picture of that ticket, send it to the law firm. The law firm can actually represent you in court for, I believe it's a $49 fee, anywhere in the US and in Canada. So putting equal access to the justice system in the palm of your hand is a fantastic thing. Just a little bit about what Legal Shield offers. Your will, have you ever, these are the questions we ask, have you ever? I'm just going to leave this up for a second. I'm not going to go through that because time doesn't permit. Legal Shield does preventive. They do life events, family and domestic services. And look at the price, $29.95 a month. How can they do that for $29.95 a month? Same way Netflix can give you every movie ever made for about $7 a month, or whatever the price is. It's that group buying power that allows us equal access to the justice system. Who's covered in the Legal Shield? The member, spouse, domestic partner, wife, whoever it is, anybody living in the same house, never married, dependent children up to 26. And again, this will cover up to 10 children. And the two adults in the home. So everyone in the family is covered. Second thing I want to talk about is identity theft, the fastest growing crime in the world. And there are several people in our organization that deal with identity theft and cybercrime. I'm just one of them. I used to do live shows. I was interviewed on TV. We did a whole thing on cybersecurity, and I want to continue doing that. And now it's so much easier with the app. So what ID Shield does, every company does this. They monitor all this great stuff, big deal. But what Forbes said, called it the best of 2021, they said to get everything that ID Shield does, you need to go to several different companies. All of these things have been bundled under one company, ID Shield. This is a snapshot from today. These are the alerts I get. People say, well, my identity is fine. It's not about credit. It's not about financial. It's everything you're seeing right here. Financial accounts, fine. But dark web alerts, sex offender alerts, social media, public records, are you appearing somewhere? Is someone using your social security to get a job? Has someone committed a crime in your name that you will have to answer for? These are the things that you get alerted for. Number 4 on that, sex offender alerts. Set up a perimeter around your house. Everyone in your family will be getting these alerts to know who the sex offenders are that's living within a geofenced area around your home. Again, it's more than just monitoring. We're monitoring its consultation, its guidance. If you have any sort of smart device, are you watching your smart TV, or is your smart TV watching you? A lot of people are finding out if they say, the joke is, I told a joke, my wife laughed, my kid laughed, and Alexa laughed. They're listening to us all the time. Get consultation on how to shut some of these things down. Privacy management. We just teamed up with Trend Micro. VPN is also added in there. Password manager, so you don't have to do password 123 as your password. This will all keep it all in check. So if these are bundled, now they added credit counseling, not credit repair. That's pretty much a little bit of a scamish thing. Credit counseling is how to set up a budget, how to get your records, your score up higher by disputing things, and we can dispute it with a letter from the law firm. Morgan Wright, when they were talking about the Equifax breach, way back when, that was 147 million records, and the world was going to end because that breach was so big. Now it's 37 billion. That's what the record is for last year. We don't even know what it is this year. So 37 billion records have been stolen. They're being duplicated. They're being sold, and that tsunami is going to hit us soon. So I was floored. I was watching the show, and when they asked him, well, what do you do for this? And he says, I use a company called ID Shield. They have actual investigators. That is the main difference between ID Shield and everybody else. Licensed private investigators, you sign a limited power of attorney, and the licensed private investigators go to work for you. Everything I talked about is here in a PDF, and I'll put that in the chat for everyone so you guys can have it. But most important thing that I do, money that I make from this personally and through my organization, we donate to Operation Underground Railroad, which you see behind me in the shirt. And they exist to stop child sex trafficking because it is huge. It is actually getting worse. When people talk about slavery, there is more slavery going on today than there was in the 1800s. So it is huge. We have to put a stop to it, and we can't expect government or corporations to do it. It has to be grassroots. So I am the new team leader up here in Westchester for Operation Underground Railroad, and we use volunteers to get the word out about what to do, how to spot human trafficking, how to get rid of it, and what we can do. And all of this stuff will be in the chat for you guys. So your next step, let's get together. We'll have a face-to-face, a one-on-one. We'll talk, see what we can do together to fight this incredible crime. Alan and Kate, back to you guys.
Oscar, just quickly, do you mind sharing what you told me about that ring that was being busted and then they uncovered 2 others at the same time?
Yes, I'm going to actually put that in the chat. That was on a news clip. They were going after, they went to Colombia to break up a human trafficking ring. And as they got into it, they found 2 other rings that were associated with them. And they actually set up what's called Operation Triple Take They had to simultaneously take down 3 rings at the same time, coordinate with all the special forces in Colombia, and have all of this done, to the minute that all 3 got hit at the same time. It's an incredible. It's in a new documentary that came out, but the clip will be in the chat.